afternoon to our viewers in Nigeria and across the world. Lunchtime Politics begins right now. Edo State Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu officially declares his ambition to succeed his principal, Godwin Obaseki, as governor come 2024. And so the journey begins. Bring evidence to prove claims of bias against judiciary. Attorney General challenges candidates and parties who lost out in election petitions. Taraba State Governor Kefas hits former Governor Darius Ishaku, says he inherited problems in virtually all sectors of the state's economy. Following weeks of speculations and political twists, it's now official. The Edo State Deputy Governor, Mr. Philip Shaibu, has officially thrown his hat in the ring for the contest to succeed his predecessor, in fact, his principal, Governor Godwin Obaseki, as governor of Edo State in the 2024 election. Mr. Shaibu made his intention known today in Benin City, the Edo State capital, at about 8:30 a.m., maintaining that he plans to contest the governorship race under the platform of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. While listing his plans for the state, Mr. Shaibu appealed to the people to look beyond party affiliation and unite for the growth and development of the state. We'll take a listen.
I resonate with the tireless and irrepressible spirit of Edo people. By the grace of God, nothing and no one can stop us. This is why today I stand before you with great conviction, resolved, as I declare my intention to run for the office of the governor of Edo State under the platform of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in the upcoming 2024 election. I am confident with your support, we can take Edo State to even greater heights. It is time for us to rise above partisanship, sentiment, and unite under the banner of progress and development. We will prioritize the revitalization of our educational system, ensuring that no child is left behind. We will ignite a comprehensively overhaul of our healthcare system. We will create opportunities for economic growth, work towards alleviating poverty in our rural communities. We pledge our commitment to empower our farmers. We will strengthen law enforcement and implement community policing strategies to ensure the protection of all our people. We will prioritize environmental sustainability. We will govern with transparency, accountability, and establish a culture of trust between the government and the people.
And after his formal declaration, Mr. Shaibu joined his supporters to inaugurate his campaign office in the government reservation area of Benin City and later addressed his supporters.
When we become the governor of Edo State, by the grace of God, November 12, 2024, we will hit the ground running from day one. We know where the problems are. This government has tried his best, but there are still a lot of things to be done. We have started the journey, and I decided, together with all of us, that after all the consultation we have made, we needed to now make the answer to our consultation known to Edo people. And the answer is clear. They have asked me to go and run. And they said I am the one they see, not just a street boy, but original 100% home boy that can lead them. And I can assure you that by the grace of God, we will deliver practical governance.
Now, for more on the Deputy Governor's declaration and, of course, the implications on the race to 2024, we're joined on the program by Mr. Festus Owu, who's a member of the Shaibu campaign media team. He joins us live from our Benin studio in Edo State. It's good to have you on the program.
Thank you very much.
Well, also joining us is Mr. Olu Martins, who's Executive Director, Canvases for Democracy and the Rule of Law. Joins us via Zoom from Edo State as well. Gentlemen, it's good to have you on the program. Let me begin with Mr. Festus, because you were there today. You still have, the campaign T-shirt on, as it were. And I imagine that this must have been a long time coming for the Deputy Governor. In fact, some say this was the plan all along. But tell us first, what was the reception like, and how have the people of the state received the Deputy Governor's declaration? It's been, what, a few hours after that declaration?
Well, it was a wonderful one, and the excitement in the air that greeted his declaration is a momentous issue that will to linger on in our memory for a very long time. You could see visibly how the people were rejoicing and they were happy because, like you said, it's been a lifetime planning. And by the grace of God, who we rely on, he made today possible for us. We have risen above the kind of politics other states still practice where, hello?
Please go ahead.
We have risen above, we have raised the bar in Edo State in terms of political participation. What Philip Shaibu represents is a homeboy indeed, a man that is home to all of us, who knows our pains, who knows our problems, and he has something to defend in the state. That's the most important. Philip has almost all his investments in Edo State, so whatever affects anyone in Edo State also affects Philip Shaibu. And we are happy because his declaration has shown youthful participation. It is a freedom for us indeed, because we believe that the problems that are plaguing the party in Edo State, Philip has the capacity to resolve them. And that's our greatest joy. And once that comes to pass, PDP again will be returned back to the winning way. He has been involved in party politics for a very long time. So he knows the pains of the party, he knows the pains of the Edo people. You agree with me that to a large extent you can't function well in the office if the party that brings you to power is neglected. And Philip is a man that has that capacity to unite all of us and to bring about a blend between participatory politics and his administration. Because, like you said, you hear people say, homeboy. He's indeed a homeboy. He's 100% a homeboy. And so we are happy. Everybody in the state is happy. The state is agog. That is the plain truth.
Well, it looks like that will be the tag he'll be adopting. We've seen the President Tinubu adopting City Boy. So it looks like for Comrade Shaibu, it will be Homeboy. But let me come to Mr. Martins to get his thoughts on this. 100% Homeboy. That's how Comrade Shaibu actually described himself earlier on. And I wonder for you, Mr. Martins, how did you receive his declaration? First, someone who's close to Governor Obaseki, and also because for his supporters, they see him as someone who would unite the party. Mr. Martins, if you could just unmute your device so we can hear you. Okay, we seem to be having audio difficulty with Mr. Martins, but not to worry. We'll come back to you. Just unmute that so we can get your responses across. But let me come back to Mr. Owu on this one. You particularly spoke about the Deputy Governor uniting the party, and he particularly said that the governor has tried his best, but clearly there's still so much to be done. So let's speak to the specifics before we bring in Mr. Martins. What are those areas that you believe the governor has tried his best, but that the deputy governor will want to take on if he's elected? That's for you, Mr. Owu.
Hello.
Yes, please, go ahead. All right, Mr. Owu, just to be clear, you can hear me. I'm asking that when the deputy governor made the statement that Governor Obaseki has tried his best, but there are so many areas still left to be touched. What are those areas, at least for the people of the state?
Indeed, so much is left to be done, and
please go ahead,
are you hearing me?
Mr. I can hear you.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, please.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Please go ahead with your response.
Yes, like I said, a lot still needs to be done. It's broken. It is.
I was asking you
But
to
I
go
can hear
ahead
you,
with your
Frankie.
question. Yes, I can hear you as well. It looks like there's a lag, but please go ahead.
Okay. Like I said, so much still needs to be done. And you will agree with me that the response to the challenges in Edo State. Hello? Hello?
All right, Mr. O, I see that there's some challenge with the audio. So let me go back to Mr. Martins. We'll come back to you. We need to have this all-important conversation because I imagine that this has significantly impacted the race to the 2024 election in Edo State. And we all know how Edo State elections have gone in previous years. So are the people set for yet another intrigue? What should they expect? How will this be issue-based? So let me bring in Mr. Martins. I do hope that that is resolved. Now, Mr. Martins, I was asking about your reactions, immediate reactions to this. A lot of people saw this coming, but he has formally declared his intention to succeed Governor Obaseki. How did you receive that, Mr. Martins?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Firstly is that I want to establish in clear terms. I'm not sure I'm comfortable with the headlines that have made the rounds. When they say the deputy governor dares the governor, I'm not sure it's very charitable. I can understand media houses want to tilt towards sensationalism in order to gain attraction and traction for their media houses, but I'm not too sure that there's any time that the governor had asked the deputy governor to express his personal interest. He has an interest to run for, to be governor of Edo State. He's free to aspire, as everybody is free to aspire. Even Bible recognizes your freedom to aspire. 1 Timothy 3:1. If anybody aspires to the office of bishop, so he has the right to aspire. However, he must take into cognizance the plurality of Edo State. Edo State stands on tripod, like every other state in this federation. There is the Edo South, where the governor is from. There is the Edo, Central, where some of us are from, and several other persons. And then there is Edo North, where the deputy, governor is currently from, and where the immediate past governor, Comrade Adams Oshomole, is from. Incidentally, Comrade Adams Oshomole and Comrade Philip Shaibu are from the same Uzaire clan. So I heard when Comrade Oshomole said that even if he had the powers to make Edo North continue to produce the governor of Edo State, he doubts if it will come from one clan, and that is the same Uzaire clan. So between Comrade Adams Oshomole and Comrade Philip Shaibu, we have had that same Uzaire clan that the deputy governor is from move between governor and deputy governor for 16 years. Edo State is a plural state. So I think that the thinking, and including my thinking, is the fact that there must be politics of inclusion. As much as the deputy governor has a right to aspire, and I'm sure that the governor wishes him best, I'm sure that he must also take into cognizance the plurality, the sensitivity, of the Edo people. He must take into cognizance equity, fair play, to know that there are 3 senatorial districts like our sister state, who was initially Bendel State, Delta State has done. Delta State have been magnanimous enough, and perhaps more politically mature, to move power between the Urobos, the Shekiris, and the Aniomas. In Edo State, we haven't had that opportunity. In 1999, Lucky Igbenedion was governor. His deputy was from Esako, Central, Chief Mike Ogeadume. After him, you had Osumbo become governor for just 20 months from Edo Central. Then you had Adams Oshomole from Edo North becoming governor with a deputy from Edo South. And then, as we currently have it now, the governor is from Edo South. So the thinking of most people is the fact that these guys in Edo Central must have a sense of belonging. They must know and feel that they are part of the tripod that Edo State stands on, because there's no stool that can stand on. So,
Mr. Martins,
we begrudges the governor, he must understand that his right to aspire must come under the consideration, the sensitivity of other senatorial districts, and indeed, other ethnic groups that that are counted and listed among Edo State.
So let's break this down for those who may not be following politics in Edo State, and of course for those who are directly affected. So you started from former Governor Lucky Benedion, who spent, 8 years. He was from Edo South, if I'm correct, right? Then we moved on to former Governor Adams Oshiomhole from Edo North. Am I correct? If you can hear me, Mr. Martins, just to be sure we're on the same page.
Yes, then finally, okay. I talked about Professor Osumbo, who did a short 20 months.
Okay.
And that tenure was completed by the courts.
Right. And now current governor, the current governor, Governor Godwin Obaseki, since you've brought this, where they're from in, let's just go down that road. He's from Edo South. So the question a lot of people are asking is, so why didn't the current governor say, well, since we've had Edo South do this for 8 years previously, and we've had the Edo North also do this, let me step aside to allow Edo Central. Some will say, why is it convenient now to bring up that conversation? Don't forget, you said that everyone is free to aspire.
It's not a fresh conversation. While the governor crisscrossed the length and breadth of Edo State for his second term, he made it abundantly clear in several quarters that he favors equity, he favors fair play, he favors justice. Even though he has not said it in clear, lucid terms, but he has also hidden his desire. He's leaning towards Edo Central, who seem to have been deprived in the whole of this equation. It is not news for any political watcher to know that the governor and Mr. Godwin Obaseki currently favors Edo Central to produce the next governor of Edo State. That's why even in all the major parties, whether it's Labour Party, whether it's APC, whether it's PDP, the plethora of candidates, the plethora of aspirations, the plethora of declarations have been most preponderant in Edo Central. Most people who are aspiring for office to take over from Governor Obaseki, most of them, at least 80% of them, come from Edo Central. So it is not, the governor has expressed that even though as a Democrat, he also must allow certain elements play out. But as an individual, as the governor of Edo State, he has not hidden his desire for Edo Central to produce the next governor of Edo State. All political watchers, and even the layman on the street, understand, if we needed to copy the language of President Tinubu, that indeed, it's a no-con, if I put it that way. But we also like to put it in perspective. They were looking for an Edo governor of ESA extract. It's just fair. It's just equitable.
Let me bring in Mr.
For people to have that sense of identity. So I can tell you that indeed, governor of Edo State, as it currently is now, favors an Edo governor of ESA extraction.
All right, let me bring in Mr. Owu now, Mr. Martins. Just a moment. Let me bring in Mr. Owu to get his response on this. But my question particularly is, why is it convenient to bring that up now if the current governor didn't say, well, during my time, let me allow the central to have it. But let me go to Mr. Owu. It looks like this will be a major hurdle for the deputy governor to cross in the build-up to this election. And I wonder, how is he handling this?
I don't think this is going to be a hurdle. Because if you look at the argument canvassed by Olumatis, he has forgotten that if you really look at the senatorial districts, we want to look at how governors have been produced. In Edo North, we have only had a governor from Edo North, one governor from Edo North. And in ESA land that he's talking about, ESAs have produced 2 governors in this state. We have only produced Adam Oshiomhole as a governor. In any case, there is a shift There is a shift right now from regional politics to capacity, the ability to deliver. That is the issue here. And when you say that the governor favors ESA, I would have loved to see that favor displayed by giving them a speaker. For now, in the Edo State House of Assembly, is the speaker of Edo State House of Assembly from Ishaland. One would have thought that he loves Edo South Central so much that we would have had a speaker being there. Even if he wanted them to become governor, let them be a speaker from Ishaland in the interim. That did not happen. Now, if you also say someone is favoring, I want to believe that that is godfatherism. The governor should have a neutral mind to who becomes the governor of Edo State after him. He should allow everyone to contest this election. If you think you have the right to, if you have the capacity to contest, you should go into the contest. And I think it is this mindset of one trying to favor another man that is bringing about all these kind of attitudes that are taking place in the state, where people are being witch-hunted, hoodwinked, and if you know what we went through today before this declaration took place, you will know that we are a peace-loving people. A situation where one has booked a place and he wanted to use it for the flag off of his campaign, and the governor and his people went ahead to put another program there. If you are not afraid of Philip Shaibu, let the man go into contest. If you want to display your power as a governor, I'm of the opinion that you wait for Philip in the primaries. If the people of Edo State says that they want Philip to be governor, one single individual cannot stop him. This was how in Edo State we established the saying that no man is God. And we are going back to that era because no one man can play the role of a God in Edo State. Allow Philip, irrespective of where he comes from, to contest for the governorship of Edo State. He is popular. The people want him. In Edo State, where we all come from here, with due respect, my moderator, Olumatis can tell you very well that what they call rotation today is not even obtainable anymore in some region. There are people who today in their places, a particular House of Rep member has come out thrice. He's returning 3 times. Are there no other people in that area? It is performance.
Right.
It is performance we are talking about. And Philly have the requisite capacity to deliver us from the woes that we are suffering in Edo State. He knows, Martins himself knows that presently, if PDP is not united again, the way we have always failed will also still become the story. But we see Philip as the person who has this capacity to resolve the crisis in PDP in Edo State.
All right.
Where we left before, there was crisis. We came back here again, there is crisis. So we see Philip as the person who can help us resolve this crisis because he's a party man to the core.
Well, this is a major issue brewing, gentlemen. But as we wind down,
region, it's about performance. It's about the love.
All right, Mr. O, I have to come in now because of time. But as we wind down, I just want to ask Mr. Martins, because there's been a lot of talk about, that venue, and it's a major issue. The deputy governor is said to have locked down the venue for this, campaign announcement, and then last-minute things are said to have changed. And the question is, what kind of person then do you want Edo people to see the governor as? Is he as someone who would, favor somebody or a particular area? And you've said that everybody is free to run. So how do you expect people to see him? Do you think he's a man that will stop his deputy from aspiring? That's for you, Mr. Martins.
Well, it's a hotel, and it's a private property. The ownership of the hotel is known to public. I do not like when politicians whip up sentiments and play to the gallery. I do not expect Comrade Philip Shaibu, who by the way is my friend, who I've known for a while, to play the victim that the governor locked up the place. That's why I began by saying that I don't like the media headlines that the deputy governor dares the governor. The deputy governor has an aspiration, and he has a right to aspire, and the governor wishes him well. I am telling my brother in the studio there, for instance, now to say, the Adams Oshomole made it clear And supposing he even wanted he wanted Edo North to continue to produce the governor, will he come from the same Uzairi clan that has oscillated between governor and deputy governor for 16 years? Where is our moral conscience? Where is equity? Where is fair play? This is not the Obesian theory where might is right. This is not the jungle of the survival of the fittest. This is humanity. And we are conscious of the sensitivities of the people.
All right,
Mr. Martins. And about credibility. Maybe our Edo South brothers will have perpetuated themselves in office.
Well,
but
we have to wind down now, gentlemen.
Has made it abundantly clear too that we must look at the other persons, the other senatorial district in this particular instance.
Well, Mr. Martins, we're totally out of time. But the good thing is that this conversation continues, and we have over 10 months up until that election. But we'd like to thank you so much, gentlemen, for sharing your thoughts with us on the program this afternoon. Mr. Festus, always a member of Shaibu campaign media team, joining us from our Benin studio, as well as Mr. Olu Martins, an Executive Director, Canvassers for Democracy and the Rule of Law. We appreciate your time on the program. Well, let's talk about the judiciary now. As the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice, Mr. Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, is asking those accusing the judiciary of bias, particularly aggrieved losers, to bring their evidence of allegations instead of denigrating the image of the nation. Speaking in his Ijabu country home in Kwara State, the minister also asks opposition parties to accept the results in the spirit of sportsmanship. Another quest for judicial reforms, he says he is already in talks with Nigerian Governors Forum and other stakeholders on how to ensure effective justice sector reform. And now to Taraba State, where Governor Kefas is criticizing his predecessor, former Governor Darius Ishaku, whom he says handed him a state without a developmental plan. According to Governor Kefas, he inherited a lot of problems in virtually all sectors of the state's economy and will take one step at a time to get it right. He says, though all the 16 local government areas of the state are blessed with natural resources, there are no structures to harness them appropriately. The governor was speaking when the committee set up to streamline MDAs in the state for effective governance submitted their report to him. Well, that's the program for this afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kayode Kikilo. Stay with Channels Television for all of the big stories of the day. I'm Kayode Kikilo. Goodbye.